Hi, this is John Perkins, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts I've had about the coronavirus. I just wrote a newsletter about it, which you can subscribe to very quickly by going to johnperkins.org and putting your name in the little box there. In any case, we are at this amazing time when Mother Earth is speaking very loudly and clearly to us through this virus. As I thought about this, I've tried to put it in a little bit of historical perspective in my own mind and also in this newsletter. And one of the things I thought about is the Black Plague of the 14th century, perhaps the most famous and devastating virus that's ever attacked human beings. It's estimated roughly 60% of the population of Africa, Asia, and Europe, about 50 million people, died as a result of that virus. And yet it was an amazing teacher. Although they didn't know anything about viruses, they did learn that quarantining people worked, cleaning up sewage and garbage in the streets worked, and they developed a whole new appreciation for the importance of the scientific method in medicine and also in studying the universe. It changed everything in human activities, that virus at that time. In our modern times, probably the most famous virus that most of us are familiar with is the HIV, AIDS virus. And that's estimated to have killed over 30 million people since it was first identified in the early 1980s. It too has taught us a great deal. It's taught us about safe sex. It's taught us about using clean needles. It's taught us about the importance of getting quick attention, identifying viruses and getting medical help quickly. And perhaps most importantly, it's developed a whole new series of attitudes toward gender and race and many issues like that, many social issues and sexual and gender issues. It's changed everything. It's changed a lot of laws and regulations, and it's also changed a lot of things in the medical profession. So now we look at this current virus, the coronavirus, which is terrifying for many people, and in fact has already had a huge, huge impact. We know that human perception molds human reality, and our reality has changed in the last few weeks, even days, as a result of this virus. We've seen how interrelated and interdependent the world's economies are. We've seen that the problems in China have created economic turmoil everywhere. The stock market in the United States is crashing. Italy is closing down great sections of the country. Chinese manufactured goods are no longer coming in. Concerts are being canceled. And church gatherings and other conferences and meetings are being canceled. And so we're understanding that we may be needing to move into a whole new era that's much more dependent on this technology, on this way of communicating through the internet, through social networking, as far as meetings and getting together. I don't think we'll ever totally, I want to use the word recover, but it's not recover exactly. We'll never totally change, go back to the old ways. And that's probably good, because we have been receiving a very strong message for a long time from Mother Earth, Pachamama. We've been seeing that hurricanes and fires and tornadoes and earthquakes that once were considered to be once in 100-year events are now happening every year or so. The earth is speaking loudly. An Andean shaman has told me, all these events, including viruses, have important lessons to teach us about how to relate to ourselves and to our earth. And she one time said, we humans are just like so many fleas on Pachamama. And if we get to be too much of a nuisance, she'll just shake us all off. And then this Indian shaman woman named Maria Wana Yamberla, what a great name. She looked up at the huge volcano that's sort of hovers over her house in the Andes. And she said, not long ago, that volcano was covered with an ice cap. It isn't anymore. The ice cap is melted. There's a message there. Mother Earth hasn't shaken us off yet, but she's twitching. She's sending us a strong message. Let's listen. And so I think, the real importance of this coronavirus is that it's sending each of us individual messages about our own lives, but it's also sending all of us collectively around the world a message about coming together. We can't afford to continue to put money into military machines to kill each other and threaten each other. We need to come together to face the crises that we've created on this planet, this death economy, as I talk about in my books, and transform it into a life economy. A lot more about this in my newsletter. If you don't already get it, please do. You can just go to my website, johnperkins.org, put your name in that little box, or not just your name, your email address in that little box, and you'll get a lot more detail about the things I've just been talking about, as well as lots of other, what I consider to be good information every 2 to 4 weeks. And also at the bottom, there's a list of places that I'll be visiting, assuming this virus allows it, in June and July, especially on the book tour when my new book, Touching the Jaguar, comes out, which you can also pre-order on my website. And I really appreciate it if you do, because that'll help send it to the top of the bestseller list, which means it gets more and more attention, which also, and I'm not really about selling books for myself, but I am about spreading these messages, which that book does. Thanks so much. And stay healthy and listen to the messages for you personally and all of us communally. Thank you. Have a great day.